Hi everyone and happy Monday. We have a very cute cat picture today to do. Now this is, I think, World's Wonder? I think so. Pretty sure. I will find out. I will double check and I'll put it in the description so you know for sure if you're going to be colouring it in the actual book. Save you searching through it. And I know it's quite near the end of the book if that's any help. Anyway, now fur is quite tricky to colour, and I was actually colouring some this morning, or feathers actually, this morning, but on a Hannah Carlson book where she does a little more jaggedy edge, it makes it a little bit easier. But I'm not going to start with the cat. I think I'm going to start with the florals and then move on after. I've got a bit of sun coming in here. It's in and out, but I'm hoping once I zoom in it won't affect us too much. I don't really want to shut the blind and that sort of thing. So I'm going to start with the florals on the cat, I think. I'm using my Castle Art Soft Touch today. Now I have a swatch sheet for this one and I have some comparison charts in my Ko-fi shop. So if you don't have this set or you want a swatch chart, you can grab one. If you don't have this set, you can have a look at the comparison charts and see what you can use equivalent to. Now what I like about the Castle Arts is the purples and pinks. There's a nice big range. I'm actually going to start with these green leaves. I think I will use the leaf green middle. Got to find it. There's a train going by. I don't know how much you can hear the trains. Leaf green light. There it is, leaf green middle. So I'm going to use a few colours on the leaves. So here is our leaf green middle. The leaf green middle is actually the darkest of the leaf greens. There are 3 in this set. I've got the 120 set, by the way. The leaf green middle is the darkest, then the leaf green, and then the leaf green lights. I'm going to use all 3. I'm going to start with the middle here at the top and just gently fade it out. Fade it down to nothing, like that. And then the same on the next one. So just going to do all 4, I can't count, all 4 of the leaves like this. Keep it quite, I know what colours I'm planning for this page, so I'm using a green that I know will go with my florals. And so that's why I've picked this, but I'm going to keep it a secret. But of course, it's on the thumbnail. Well, it depends how far I've got, to be honest. I don't think I'm going to do this in one video, that's for sure. It's actually quite a large picture in the book, I think, because there's no background, you know. I've seen some nice backgrounds. I think I've seen a brick wall behind the cat. Just looking for my leaf green, which is here. It's very strange because the base of the leaf green looks really dark compared to the base of the leaf green middle, but it's actually lighter on my swatch, so I hope my swatch is right. I'm just going to go all over it and then just extend the colour a bit. It looks quite a different colour, to be honest. It looks a bit yellowy. Yeah, it's more yellowy than green, but that's okay. It'll work. I've looked on so I've got using the swatch sheet that came in with the tin, but I don't necessarily like the order. I just be honest, I don't like the order on the sheet, and so I did my own. My swatch sheet also tells you which tins the colours are in, because the full 120 set has all the colours, but there is a lot of smaller sets of castles, and they have a variety of different colours in. This is the leaf green light, and I'm just going to finish. I'm going to go from about maybe halfway, maybe a bit less, and do the tips of our leaves. Yes, so the smaller sets have a selection from the 120 in each of them, and some of them overlap. In fact, all of them have a black and a white for a start, and a lot of them have the Zarin Crimson in, apart from the botanical set and things like that. But they have a variety of different colours in. So I've done a chart listing all of those for you, because I'm just looking for a burnt umber. Here's my burnt umber. Might be a bit confused. What I'm going to do, a little bit of shadow under here. Yeah, I didn't, when you look on Amazon or even on Castle's website, very hard to see which specific pencils are in which tin. So I messaged them. I had some myself anyway, so then I knew, but I messaged them and asked them, and they their customer services is actually very good, and they let me know, so then I could put together my own chart of what was in which tin, so then you can use it. So if there's particular colours that you like, or maybe you've run out 3 or 4 of yours and you need to replace them. I'm going to do these grassy bits next. I'm going to go a bit darker. I think I used a juniper green. So yes, if you're looking to, I can't find it, there it is. If you want to replace a few, just juniper green, it's cheaper to obviously buy a small set than the huge set. I think price per pencil is less, but if there are pencils you're never going to use, you might not want to keep buying a full set over and over. So you can have a look at the smaller sets. You can't buy them open stock. Open stock meaning single pencils. You can't do that with Castle. Now I have asked them, and I have encouraged people who want that to ask them, because the more of us that nag, I've changed my mind about using the word nag. In this case it's right. The more of us that nag them, the more likely they are to see that there is a market, and the possibility of them producing them is higher. Now when I've decided that nagging my husband and children to do things, I've decided to change my phrase to cheerleading. So I'm encouraging. Makes me feel better anyway. But I've got both boys home today actually, but one isn't working. He didn't want to do any. He's not, and that's fine. If he decides not to, that's his choice, not mine. The other one said he's just going to do a little bit, and he's going to watch a video and just do a bit. So that's fair. So I've left him to it. Right, back out with the burnt umber. They've got another week and a half. Well, actually when this video goes out, they probably would have finished for Easter holidays. And they've got 3 weeks off when they're going to be working quite hard, I think. And they've got a lot to do anyway. Now, do these flowers here. Now I'm going to use pink for these. I'm just thinking about which shade I might use. I'm going to look at my chart. I'm going to use Bengal Rose Light, if I can find it. I think that might be it. Yep, there it is. Bengal Rose Light. And I'm going to try to make them a little darker near the centre, but it's going to be quite tricky in this little space. So I'm just going to do the best I can, not worry too much about it, just get some pink there. I've been out and about this morning. It's been quite nice actually. Been nice out with my boys. We had an appointment and a few things. Popped into we've got a new Tesco opening up now. For those of you not in the UK, Tesco is a grocery store, a supermarket as we call them here. So it sells mainly food really, but yeah, other things too. And I guess it's a bit like Walmart if you're in America, which I know a lot of you are. So we had a small one. It's called Tesco Metro because it's a smaller version, like a convenience store, small, you know, and it's near where our bus station is, so that you can grab a drink or a sandwich before you're hopping on the bus or after or whatever. And my boys wanted a drink, and I said I want a coffee, and they said, oh, can we go to Tesco and get a juice? So went and looked around the Tesco. I mean, wow, really living the exciting life today. And I did phone her husband when we got back because I need to tell him how we got on our appointment, which was all good anyway. He said, what was it like? I'm thinking, well, what was it like? It was a shop with shelves and food. I don't know what to say. It was quiet. It was clean, new and quiet. Yeah. But anyway, I just wanted to go because there is one product that I buy from Tesco. I don't regularly shop there. I'm going to do flower centres in yellow. I just fancy yellow today. I think the cadmium yellow light is going to be the one I'm going to choose. So there we go. Yes, so it was, but I had more fun going into the shopping centre after. We went to my favourite deli, got a few bits and bobs. That was nice. And go back. There we go. So I don't always do yellow centres, but I just think it's going to work. Now we have the leaves on our little plants. I want something fairly delicate. I think I'm going to grab the permanent green. It's quite a good one to give it a sharpen. There we go. But yes, I buy one thing from Tesco. That's right. So I was hoping they would have it because the main Tesco that we do have one in town anyway, is about 10 minutes further away than that one. So I was hoping, you know, if they have it, then it'll save me a bit of a walk. Although obviously the walk would do me good. They didn't have it. I wanted Tetley decaf green tea. They had Tetley green tea. They had Tetley green tea with lemon, but they didn't have the decaf. And the supermarket I normally shop at doesn't have it either. So it was a little bit irritating. But you know, to ask them if they can get them in for me. I doubt they will. It's not like I'm important. It was interesting because, what was it? Someone said, my son was telling me that someone was working in a shop and, oh yes, that's right, the MP, Member of Parliament, for that particular town, went up to the person. They weren't on the shop, they was a street seller. He went up to them and said, "Oh, do you know who I am?" And he went, "Yes, you're blah." I won't name names. And he said, "Oh, well, can I have a free thing?" He went, "No." It's like, that's so cheeky. I think whoever you are, you shouldn't expect free. And in fact, a friend of mine, Mary, I'll name her. Hi Mary, you'll be watching, I'm sure. Sent me a cute video of our late Queen. I'm just choosing a colour. I think I'm going to go for Castle Green Light next. And it was her taking her youngest son, Prince Edward. Oh, that's not the bright colour. Castle Green Light, where are you? Up here. No, that's the deep. Here it is, Castle Green Light. Taking her son, Prince Edward, into a shop and to buy an ice cream. And he chose an ice cream and she paid for it. You know, I don't know if she was Queen by then. I think she had him while she was Queen, so yeah. I don't think she paid for things later, but I suspect that someone paid for her, or in advance, or, you know, they didn't want her to, you know. But I think expecting things for free is not a nice thing, is it? Especially from us, you know, if you're going into a big old brand shop that got loads of money, maybe. Even then I'm not too happy with it. I'm going to do this tail in the same green. I like this green. I'm just gonna, it's good reasons, any. I'm just gonna do it in this green. And I'm gonna add another colour on after. Yeah, I remember going to I was on holiday in Spain, and a famous person, again I'm not going to name names, it doesn't matter who it was, came in with their partner and children to the cafe I was in, and they immediately said she didn't have to pay. And I'm like, but she can afford it more than anybody else. Why? And she had about 10 staff buzzing around her. I mean, she was only a soap opera star, an actress. She wasn't like a famous Oscar-winning film star, you know, even then. And so we had gone in and ordered drinks, and we were there for a meal, and they knew we were going to be eating lunch or whatever it was. Nobody came. We just had to sit there like lemons, you know, for ages and ages and ages because they were all fussing around her. I was like, oh, for goodness sake. And what about your paying customers? Oh, I mean, yeah, I guess they were hoping she might say they were good or whatever, but it was in the days before mobile phones and things, so it wasn't like it would be taking a picture or leaving a good Trustpilot review or whatever it is, you know, or oh, what's the one for companies, businesses, I can't remember. No. Anyway, so it wasn't as if that was a thing. Now I'm going to go a bit darker, and I'm going to choose one of the colours I've used already. I think I'm going to pick the juniper green and do a little bit on the ends of our leaves. Now normally I will do the greenest, the darkest part, sorry, near the stem. I'm going to do the opposite. I'm going to put a bit of darker colour on the tip, just for a bit of a difference. Yeah, so it makes me think, surely if you're a person with money and influence or famous, you should actually be supporting businesses, not expecting them to give you things. But I know these days with influencers, as I guess I am, people want to give you things so that you promote them for them to your viewers, which is lovely. And I do get things like that, and I really appreciate it, but I never expect it. You know, never. And I buy things too, you know, and yeah, especially, you know, it's nice to be able to support people. And it's like Johanna Basford, I don't think she really sends out freebies to many people anymore. She doesn't really need to. Now I'm trying to work out what this is. I'm going to ignore it for a minute. Now these leaves look like these leaves. I'm going to do them in the same way. So what did we start with? The leaf green middle. But yes, I always like to support Johanna because she's where it all started for all of us. Well, actually probably not for all of us, to be fair. For me, you know, the first book I had was her first book, and without her doing that, I wouldn't be doing this. You know, so I'm so grateful. So, you know, I always want to support her and buy things. I don't buy everything she brings out. I mean, I know, I've got all of her books. I've got one of her notebooks. I've got some of the day planners, whatever they were. And some of these things I was given anyway. This is the leaf green. I might not do the lighter one, I might just use this as my last one. Possibly not, this leaf's quite big. It's just thinking about these a bit small. I didn't buy the scented candles that she brought out, or I've got the tote bag and the pencil case, which they sold in the UK in Waterstones. My sister bought me those, they're lovely, really lovely. I don't have it in here to show you. And I'm just going to go for the leaf green light that needs a sharpen. What else did I get? I didn't have the jigsaws. I think there were three or two, and they're only released in America. And I haven't got her Small Victories postcards either, which I'm not sure if they're on UK Amazon. I think they might be. I used to get them off Book Depository, of course, which is closed. I'm going to use the Castle Green Light now for these. Yeah, so I didn't really, I didn't buy everything. And some things sold out quite quickly. And like candles, I don't reuse candles, so I'm going to do this one the same. So I didn't see much point in getting those really. I don't really sort of keep things as decorative items either. It's not me. Right, we have these long grassy bits which are part of this flower and the stems. I'm going to choose a different colour for those. Let's have a little look. What should we do? I think we don't want to go too dark. Let's go emerald green. Oh, excuse me, yawning. It's the emerald green. There it is. It's nice and sharp. Look at that. I'm going to try and fade it a bit towards the tip. Yeah, I'm not that sort of keepy person, you know. But yeah, it was a shame the jigsaws never got released in the UK. Oh, there's my telephone ringing. I'm just going to go. Oh, I am back now. That was my mum just catching up with the news, so that was good. Yeah, I'm just doing all of these grassy bits, trying to make them a little bit darker at the bottom if I can. I have also come back in and the sun's it's gone really cloudy. I put my lamp on, so the colour might look a little bit different now. I don't know, my camera tends to adjust to the light, so it might not make a big difference, but I've got no idea. So just in case it looks a bit odd, that's why. I think these little bits here would be green, so I'm just going to make them a little bit darker on the edge, like that. There we go. Now, is that all the green? It is all the green on the cat. I'm only concentrating on the cat at the minute. We will do the other greenery, of course, but I just think I don't want to go and do other green now. Would do some colour. So we need some more pink, I think, for these. I'm thinking, see the opera rose I was going to do, it's so close. And the rose pink, they're all very close, but maybe that's okay. I think I'm going to grab the rose pink. Just give it a sharpen. There we go. Yeah, so she wasn't on the phone for too long. She just wanted to catch me. She was having a little sit down, but she was waiting for the grocery delivery, and it arrived, so she had to go. But that was okay. Have a quick catch up. Might get a longer one tomorrow. Never know. See what she's up to. She's not going out and about too much this week. The town where they live, there's something on there this week and it's busy, there's lots of people. So they don't tend to be going out quite as much because it's a bit full of tourists, which isn't very nice. But the event only lasts a week, so it's fine. Putting a bit more on the edge. There we go. I just realised the car alarm has stopped ringing. House alarm. There was no, probably a car. I just want a darker colour to do these little circles. I'm just looking to see what we've got. I'm thinking the jaipur pink is probably a good choice. Yeah, when we arrived back from town at lunchtime, there was an alarm, a car alarm ringing. But we sat in the kitchen and ate and drank and nattered, as you do. And went away, so that's nice. I'm going to use the opera rose for these larger ones. Now I find with a larger area, I haven't done that, have I? I'm going to do actually these dots in the centre first, I think. And I'm going to use the, what was I going to use? Cherry. Is this the cherry pink? No. Might that work? No. What's the cherry pink? Is that this? That's very dark. No. Sorry, I'm trying to find it. Perhaps it's that. Yeah, cherry pink. Yeah, by the time we came back upstairs, we've forgotten all about the car alarm. It stopped, which is good. The boys were saying how useless car alarms are because you ignore them. You just assume that it's the car going wrong. My neighbour sometimes goes off, but I do peep out And if there's no one around the car, then I assume it's gone wrong. Maybe. But my other son said, either you assume it's gone wrong so you ignore it, or you want the person just to hurry up and steal the car so it stops. It's quite funny. But we do know if it's ours, because there we go. If you're you can tell by how close the sound is. Here's the opera rose. I think the best approach with these is to just colour them all in to start with. I've just realised I coloured that green. It's a bit of the never mind. A bit of our flower. I'm not sure how long this video is because of the phone ringing. Now I'm going to start by putting some darker colour down here in the centre. I'm just layering it up and then fading it up the petal bit. Yeah, I'm not sure how long this video is, so I'm going to try and do what I think is about half the page and then make another one for the other half, and that's the only way I can do it really, having no idea. Right, something we haven't done on these is used any brown for shadow, so I'm going to do that a little bit now. So with our burnt umber, I think I'm going to do a bit here between these and around here where things are overlapping. Like that. There we go. I could do a bit around here, but I think it's probably better without. Now, our cat. Let's come out a little bit. I can do the cat, I think, and then leave the rest. Now we've got these little bits to do first, haven't we? What should we use there? What's the... Yeah, I think I'm going to use the Prussian green. There it is. I'm sort of avoiding the olives today because I don't think they match pink. So that's my main decision when looking at greens. I'm also not using the bluey greens, which do match pink, but I've sort of going down this route really. So these I'm just going to colour in really. I don't know what else to... I might try and make them a bit darker nearer to the tail. That might work. Yeah, my mum said she might call me back, so I'll wait and see if the phone rings again. But it'll take her a while to sort out all her shopping. Right, the cat now. The cat... Now, I usually do cat's grey. I find it a little bit easier than black. It's too dark. I find it quite difficult because you could just block it in and then you can't see any shadows and things like that. And I just find it hard. But I have decided that I'm not going to do this cat a conventional colour. I've decided I'd rather like to do her purple. I'm going to start with a pale colour. Now, if you don't want to do her purple, you want to do her grey, I'm saying her because she's purple. If you want to do her grey or brown, just follow the tone. So this is my lightest colour, so I'm starting with a mauve, which is light. So pick a light grey or a light brown, whatever you're using. I'm going to do the whole of the cat in this colour, apart from the eyes and nose. So I'm just going to fill her in really, and she might look quite grey with this mauve. It's quite a pale colour, and I think there is a breed of cat that's sort of purpley in colour. I'm sure there is, but the name of it I do not know. I'm not a pet person, you know, cat or dog, whatever, so I don't know much about them really. And my sister, who has cats, never has a sort of pure breed cat. She goes to a rescue centre and gets a cat, and they're usually a mixed up cat. Her current cat has been a bit poorly. It's got I think it was liver problems. It's on some pills and is eating again, so that's good. But, yeah, he had to have a sedation so they could do some tests and things. But anyway, they seem to have found out what it was, so that's good. But I think they're a worry, pets, you know. I think we have enough in our household to think about. I mean, we don't really, we're very lucky, you know, there's just 4 of us and everything, but I'm sort of looking after everybody, and I just don't have the time for another one to look after, you know. I don't mind doing what I do, but I think it'd just be too much more. So we also, you know, we all thought about it was so expensive as well. And of course, a lot of pet owners will just say, well, it's worth it, it's good value for money, that sort of thing. But I think it just depends on you, doesn't it? We haven't done these little circles here. I think we'll do those in this pink here. I might just stop and do that before I colour over them. It was the jaipur pink, wasn't it? I'll just do that now. Because I can colour over those with the mauve, because it won't hurt too much. It will just change the colour a little bit. There we go. But I don't be barely visible because the mauve is so pale. But I think it's a bit easier to put the colour in first, or else I might accidentally burnish it too hard and not be able to put my colour down. There we go. There's a lot of banging about. I'm just checking out what I'm doing, but I think all these lines are just the vines or whatever you would call it of the leaves there. So it's fine. And this is a very pale colour. You may not even really be able to see it very well on camera, but we're going to add in some darker shades. Nothing too much though. I don't really want a really dark purple cat. We'll see how it goes though. Now, fur is an interesting thing to colour. There are 2 ways to go about it. Oh, well, probably a million. But anyway, you can just colour it in as if it's anything else. You know, just block in the colour, shade it a bit, and there you go. Or you can think about the actual individual bits of fur and try and start drawing those in. Now that is going to make you a much more realistic picture, because you can see all the fur going on, which you would, of course, in a real cat. However, it's quite difficult, time consuming as well. So I'm not sure, I haven't quite decided how I'm going to do this, but there's no way I'm going to be able to make this look like a real cat anyway, just because of the way it's drawn. And I know some people slightly adapt the drawing and things like that so that it looks more real, and that's amazing, and it's not something that I can do. So I'm just going to do what I can. So I'm just going to see where it leads me, really. Put in this, I'm trying to colour in the direction that the fur would grow, so that if there are liney marks on the page, then it looks right. So that is something that I'm doing. But apart from that, I'm not really doing anything too fancy. But what we might do is draw in some fur. Now, when you draw, if you are drawing in fur, you need to think about how sharp your pencil is. Look at here where Johanna's drawn in some fur. Look how thin those lines are. That's what you need to aim for as well. And that's quite tricky. You might want to choose a different brand of pencil that's really hard, holds its point very well. Although the harder the pencil, the paler it can often be, which then means it's quite difficult even to show up what you're doing. So you can experiment a little bit. I would experiment by taking some of this colour and just scribbling it down onto some scrap paper and then getting your other pencils and putting them over the top and seeing what works. I am going to grab the lavender next. Gosh, I'm really cold. I wish I'd brought a cardigan through. Is that the lavender? Yeah. Now the lavender isn't particularly dark, but it's slightly more pinky, or reddish perhaps is a more correct description. And I'm going to use it in the areas where, firstly, where Johanna's drawn these dots. Can you see in some areas around here there are dots? And I think Johanna has drawn that in to show us that it's a bit darker, that there's some shadow. So I'm just going to put this in those areas, but quite lightly, because it's a different shade of purple. Then we have to be a little bit careful. If you put it down too thickly, it will look a little bit odd. And I'm doing that on all of these areas that she's marked out. If you are following along, you should hopefully be able to see them on your page. There we go, it's a bit on the feet here. And here. Now I think I want to put a little bit along here as well. Where those are overlapping. And maybe all the way down here. There we go. Now I'm looking at the face. We don't actually have, but I'm thinking maybe we're going to mark that out a little bit. And maybe in the ears. Now often I think the ears should be darker because they're sort of deeper, so there'll be some shadow in there, but it depends. Sometimes they're a bit pink, but there's less fur and more skin. Sometimes they've got so much darker fur in there. It's quite difficult to know exactly how to do them. If you want it photorealistic, then get a photo. That is the easiest thing to do. Now I am going to leave that there for today. She's very squiff. There is more work to be done on the cat, but I think this is quite a good place to stop, looking at what's left and thinking about how long I've probably taken, and the fact that I need to go and get a cardigan. So I'm going to stop here and then come back tomorrow for you and finish off the rest. We may be doing a bit more fur work and all the other leaves, flowers, toadstools, things like that as well. But thank you for watching today. I hope you have a really lovely day and happy colouring.